Hey, everybody. Welcome to Yield Boost Thursday. We talk about Yield Boost. But first, I want to talk about our top 10 that we talked about on Saturday, this past Saturday. There were three Bitwise funds in there. They declared today. Are they going to remain on the list or not? We'll talk about those after Yield Boost. You will be shocked. Maybe not. I'm not. We know their distros have gone down. And I'll just give you a little cheat. They've gone way down. So we'll talk about those in a minute. But let's go to Yield Boost. That's what we're here for. So how'd they do today? We got 2x Coinbase was down 3.54. COYY down 1.28. Only captured 36% of the loss, as expected. These are put credit spreads, capped on the upside, capped on the downside, income from the short put. 2x Robinhood up 0.47, HOYY up 0.65. Nothing to write home about there. 2x Tesla up 8.31. They have earnings coming soon, I believe next week. This thing's going to be volatile, so be careful if you trade anything involving Tesla, up or down. So they're up 8.31. TSYY was up 2.03. That's good for us. That's my largest holding. I don't know. I haven't looked. Let's see. 2x SMCI up 1.35. SMYY up 1.31. That's good. 2x AMD up 3.13. AMYY up 0.61. Only captured 19% of the gain. Kind of as expected. Like I said, capped on the upside, capped on the downside, income on the short put. 2x Bitcoin down 1.84, XBITI down 0.34, 2x NVIDIA up 1.52, NVYY was up 0.5%. 2x Palantir up 0.57, PLYY down 0.01. And we see that when it's less than a 1% move in the underlying. Sometimes the yield boost fund will be negative on a gain, or if the 2x Palantir was down, you might see positive there. Again, it's they teeter there. 2x Alibaba up 9.99%. I did look. Alibaba was upgraded to a buy from somebody, and their target went up. So there you go, 10% there. BBYY up 1.59. 2x MSTR down 3.36. We're used to this now. MIDI only down 0.38. So only captured 11% of the loss. I'm looking over here at the captures. TQQQ up 2.22. TQQY up 1.77. That's good. 3x S&P SPXL up 1.49. YSPY up 1.11. That's good. They captured 74%. We like that. 2x Amazon up 2.84. AZYY up 1.28. Captured almost half. 2x Meta, 11%. Super. FBYY only up 3. Only captured 27% of that gain. I'm very bullish on Meta for 2026. Meta is an AI company. It is not a social media company. Let me make that straight. It's not financial advice, but they are an AI company for sure. And I think they got upgraded by somebody, and that's why they're up today. And they've been down. 2x Mara down 4.63. MAAY, which I do own, down 2.45. So only captured about half of the loss. Let's go down just a few more. Hang in there, and then we'll talk about distros. 2x IonQ up 3.64. IOYY up 1.2. 32% capture, as expected. 2x Gold Miners up 7.48. We know what gold is doing. Nuggy up 2.28%. So 30% of the gain there. 3X Semiconductor Bull Soxel. We wheel this. Haven't in a while, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. We're doing a live option trade. I have the day off of work. I will do a live trade. Probably not. I'm thinking SPX, but we'll see. We'll talk about it tomorrow. 10 a.m. we'll go live. We'll make the trade probably around 10:15. So tune in for that. So anyway, Soxel was up 0.4. Semi up 0.32. Captured 80%. Awesome. 2X Rigetti up 10%, 10.77. RGYY only 2.27, only captured 21%. Again, these are all expected. This is how this fund works. Read the prospectus. Let's see. 2X Qubits up 10%. QBY up 2.77. 2X Riot down 1.94. RTYY only down 0.6. 2X Hems up almost 11%. HMYY, which I did buy this week for the first time, up only 2%, but that's a 19% capture. And then YBitty and YBeast, those are the fund of funds, top 5 yielders, and the fund of funds. They declare tomorrow. But they were both up today, 0.69% and up 0.59%, respectively. So overall, the underlyings were up 3%, 3.23, and yield boost funds were up 0.88. That is a 27% capture as expected. So let's talk yields. We'll go back to COYY. We're going to do this. These are the total returns. They're very red because they're paying massive yield. Some of them are green. We'll talk about those. So COYY went from 22 cents to 19 cents. That is a 157% annualized yield. For those of you new to the channel, I averaged the last 3 distributions and current price and annualize that. That is times 52 weeks because these are all weekly. And that's the yield we get. Total return, negative. This is, I average drip, no drip. And our average is negative 66% annualized on that. Massive yield, a lot of erosion there. HOYY went from 36 cents to 31 cents, 150% yield, total return negative 71%. TSYY, like I said, I think it's still my biggest holding. I haven't looked. It's between that and Curve Silver because that's just been massive. But anyway, TSYY, I've loved this fund. I've owned this almost a year. It was monthly when I bought it. It has gone way down in price, but it continues to pay massive. I do reinvest the distributions, and if I sold it right now with the distributions, I've made more than I put in. So my total return is positive. But anyway, they went from, they're 13 cents last 3 weeks. 13, 13, 13. 142% yield. Total return negative 16%. SMYY, 32 to 34 cents went up. 132% yield. Whoop, I didn't mean to do that. No, I did not mean to do that. Let me do this. Undo. There we go. Total return negative 74%. AMYY on AMD, double. These are all double leverage. Some are triple. But this is double leverage AMD. They do put credit spreads on. 40 cents, 40 cents, 98% yield. Look at this total return. If you reinvest, 53% annualized. If you don't, 48%. We average those two, we get 50% annualized total return on that. And, paying massive. So AMD's been great. So take that as you want to. XBitty, 20 cents, 19 cents. Last two, 102% yield, negative 20% annualized total return. NVYY, I do own this. One of my favorites. TSYY is my biggest, but NVYY has been spectacular. They paid 36 cents, 34 cents, 34 cents. Averages 35, 102% yield. Total return positive, 48% if you average drip, no drip. So awesome. You can get yield and total return. People say you can't. This is 102% based on the last three. So yeah, you can. You just got to, the underlying's got to be good. This is NVIDIA. So, just depends on that. PLYY, 2X Palantir is the underlying. 33 cents, 31 cents, 103% yield, total return down 9.57% annualized. So that's creeping up towards zero, then positive, in my opinion. That's Palantir. BBYY on Alibaba, 2X Alibaba, 36 cents, 37 cents. They got a raise, 96% yield, total return negative 13.92%. MIDI on strategy. We'll talk about this. They've paid 22 cents, 22 cents, 22 cents, so consistent there. 141% yield based on those three and the current price. Average annualized total return negative 155%. Are you going to lose 155% of your money? Of course not. The most you can lose is 100, and they've been paying along the way. So even then you can't lose 100. This is annualized. It's a newer fund. It's down a certain amount since they launched, and then they times 12 months. That's what it looks like. But that will fix itself after a year because they won't lose 155%. 100's the max, but they've been paying along the way, so won't be 100. Not financial advice, but TQQY, they've paid 14 cents, 14 cents, 14 cents, 50% yield. That's the lowest yielder of all the yield boost funds, 50%. Annualized total return, negative 5%, 5.6. Y-SPY, 17, 17, 16 cents. Again, all weekly, 50% yield. Look at the total return. 40% if you reinvest, 34 if you don't, annualized, 37 we average. So yeah, you can get 50% and 37% total return on that fund. So yeah. AZYY is 19 cents, 18 cents, 17 cents, coming down, 51% annualized yield, 27% negative annualized total return. FBYY on Meta, we talked about that. 18 cents, 17 cents, 17 cents, last three, 52% annualized yield. Annualized total return, negative 74%. MAAY, that's the 2X Mara, big Bitcoin treasury company. They paid 40 cents, 40 cents, 38 cents, went down a little, 150% yield, and a negative 96% annualized total return. Annualized. You're not, well, I'm not going to say anything, but you're not going to lose 96% of your money on this fund. Not financial advice. IOIY. 58 cents, 48 cents, 51 cents, 47 cents. So it's kind of teetering around 50. 148% annualized yield, negative 19% annualized total return. And then we get a couple of good ones here. Nuggy, that's on 2X Gold Miners. 43 cents, 44 cents, 44 cents, 95% annualized yield, 59% annualized total return if you reinvest, 54% if you don't. So we average those, it's 57%. Positive. So yeah, you can, that's 95%. Look at the next one, Semi on semiconductors. They paid 56 cents, 55 cents, 55 cents, pretty stable. 133% annualized yield based on those three current price at $21.65, 58% annualized yield if you reinvest, 48 if you don't. Average those, 53% annualized total return. So yes, you can make 100% yield and growth. So that's probably the best one as far as positive yield and growth. 102, yeah, that's it, semi. RGYY went from 50 cents to 53 cents down to 48 cents. So it's teetering at 50 cents, 143% yield, negative 33% annualized total return. QBY, 2x qubits, 47 to 42, that's gone down, 150% yield, 64% negative annualized total return. And where are we? RTYY, 53 cents, 55 cents, 52 cents. That's teetering at 53, 147% annualized yield, negative 65% annualized total return. And like I said, I bought HMYY this week. 49 cents, 45 cents, 39 cents. It's coming down, of course, because I bought it. 154% annualized yield, negative 146% annualized total return. It's a newer fund. You're not going to lose 146% of your money. So, not financial advice, but. And then the two fund to funds, YBiddy, again, declares tomorrow. This is last week's numbers, but we'll talk about them. But 41 cents, 41 cents, 41 cents. That's their top 5 yielders that they put into this basket. 99% yield, total return, terrible, negative 106, but again, brand new. And then Yield Beast, we call it, 22 bucks. They paid 36 cents, 35 cents, 35 cents, 83% yield, annualized total return, negative 67%. But again, brand new. So overall, Yield Boost leads the pack. We'll talk about Bitwise in a minute because I'm not sure where they're at in this. Yield Boost is averaging 114% annualized yield and a negative 37% annualized total return. Take that as you want. I mean, it is what it is. If you're after the yield, go for it. If you're after the total return, I showed you the funds that are doing it, and some of them are. So that's the Yield Boost coverage. Appreciate you guys watching that. I want to talk about Bitwise real quick because they did declare today. And yeah, Yield Boost beats them. Bitwise was in the lead, but now they're down to 97% annualized yield. We'll start with I did sell all my Bitwise positions in December because I saw this trend. And will I buy them back? Maybe. But IMST, these are covered calls, not leveraged. This is on MSTR, IMST. Went from $1.50 to $1.30 to 59 cents. That's what they declared today. These are paid X dates Friday, tomorrow, and they'll pay Tuesday. These are monthly. A lot of people are, obsessed with the weeklies. I kind of am too. But that's Bitwise. They're monthly. So it's a 98% yield, total return negative 33% annualized. iKoi has been number one on the top 10. Look at this top 10. iKoi was averaging 293 per distro, 214% annualized yield. Now, $1.78 average because they've gone from 259 to 224, now 50 cents per month. 130% yield still, but the next one may drop this further. But the total return, if you don't reinvest, is 22% positive. So something to think about there. If you average drip, no drip, 9.59% annualized total return. So that's not great, but the yield is still great. I just saw the trend of the every distro beyond the last 3 has been going down. And iCoy was my biggest holding for a while. I did make some money, not complaining at all. I just kind of saw this trend, and you'll see it with all of them. Emra on Mara, $1.69, $1.41, now 20 cents. 78% yield. That's the lowest yielder. So probably of all the funds we cover, if you look at the lowest yielder of all of them, this is probably the highest of the lowest yielders, if that makes sense. But I see a trend. So anyway, negative total return, 15% annualized. IGME, these 3 just made they're newer. They just made their 3rd declaration. So IGME went from 238 to 225 to 65 cents. 84% yield, total return negative 32%. So did they overpay to begin with? Maybe. We've seen that before. ICRC on Circle went from 249 to 275. It went up, but now down to 167. And they're newer. Are they still overpaying? I don't know. 99% yield, negative 129% annualized total return. Can they go down 129%? No. Just keep that in mind. They're newer funds. iETH on Ethereum went from 299 to 268 to $1.73. Will it be down the next time? It kind of feels like it. So I don't own these anymore. I will still cover them, and we'll just see what happens. So anyway, iETH is a 93% yield, negative 82% annualized total return. The yield for Bitwise is 97.45% if you average all of them. There's only the 6, 97%. So yield boost, look at that, 114. So I think you're going to see a new top 10, a new number 1 for sure. And so stay tuned for that. That'll be Saturday. I do that on Saturdays. The top 10 yielders, top 10 total returners. The Curve Silver Fund has been number 1 in that. And, we'll go from there. All right. So what else did we want? So tomorrow I have the day off. I'm going to do a live trade, probably on SPX. And it won't be a wheel if it's SPX. That costs like almost $700,000 to sell a cash secured put. Don't have that. It depends on the market. So we'll go live at 10. You'll get and that's why I wanted to pull up this is Wolf Financial. I just pulled up the first one of all my the ones I subscribe to. If you want to check out the list, I did subscribe to Adam Livingston. Thank you to Retire on Dividends for suggesting that this morning. So I did subscribe to him. In fact, we'll go to him. So when you subscribe, you hit subscribe right here, and it'll say subscribed. You want to hit it again because it defaults to personalized. You will not get all the notifications. You want to change that to all. You'll get the notification at 9:30 in the morning that I'm going live at 10. I'll be on at 9:30 for a live chat. So if you want to hop in at 9:30, go for it. And we'll chat. 10 o'clock, it'll be live, and I'll show you the setup. It depends on the pre-market, what things are doing, and then the market open at 9:30. I don't trade at the open anymore. I used to. It's just too crazy. So I like to wait at least 45 minutes. So the trade will be around 10:15 Eastern time, and we'll see what we do. Probably either an iron condor or credit spread, call credit spread, put credit spread. I don't know. It depends on what things are doing. So we'll go through that whole process, and we'll do a live trade. It's been working very well the last few days, and did a trade yesterday. It took 4 minutes and made, I think, 17%, return on risk. So You analyze that, it's insane. So anyway, that's the coverage. Let me know what you think. Hit the like, hit the comment, talk to me in the live chat, and I will see you hopefully tomorrow. Have a great day.